The dictionary of Jack, the dictionary is back. The dictionary of Jack, the dictionary is back. It's oh so fun, you'll see. I love vocabulary. It's back, it's back, it's back. It's the dictionary of Jack.
There's nothing in the world I wouldn't do for Hope, and there's nothing he wouldn't do for me. We spend our lives doing nothing for each other. Today I want to talk about negatives. Negatives are words that contain things like not, less, dis, in, ear, non, no, or never. For example, you shouldn't urinate on the guards at Buckingham Palace because regardless of the delightful people you would never have met otherwise, it's inconceivable that you will enjoy the nonchalant atmosphere in jail. Well, that seems pretty simple. In fact, all you really have to do to understand negatives is to think back to elementary school math when you first learned how to multiply negative numbers. Okay, children, we're gonna do a math song today.
Son of a bitch.
Math, 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 it's going to be so great. When you multiply -2 with 4, you get, Susie?
-8.
Very good, Susie. Math, 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 it's going to be so fun. When you multiply -1 with -1, you get, Jack?
-2.
-2?
Uh-huh.
Is that some kind of f***ing joke?
Uh-uh.
It doesn't even fit the goddamn rhyme scheme.
I'm sorry.
I don't care if you're sorry, you get in the ferret cage until you learn how to multiply.
But it smells like pee.
I said get in the ferret cage right now!
Now.
The ferret cage. Huh? Is it wrong that I have post-traumatic stress disorder from elementary school? Anyway, while negative numbers are obviously easier to learn for some than others, it's a pretty simple concept. 2 negatives equal a positive, and it works the same way for language too. However, a lot of people still have trouble using negatives. First, you have the people whose math is correct, so to speak, but use negatives unnecessarily. Serving as a kitten wrangler for Siegfried and Roy has been a lifelong dream of mine, but I'm scared to make such a big change in my life. What do you think I should do? An opportunity like that, you can't not do it. So what you're saying is... What I'm saying is that there isn't no way you'll never get another chance like this. But there also isn't no way that nobody can't not make that decision for you. But you just know that whatever you decide, I won't ever not be proud of you. Thanks, that means a lot, and it would mean a lot more if I had any idea what the hell you just said. Instead of saying something like you can't not do it, just say you have to do it. It requires a hell of a lot less multiplication. The other way people misuse negatives are in the form of double negatives. Well, if we're gonna win the bet, one of us has to go in there. Go in there? You're crazy. That's the old Smith place where Spencer Smith beat his whole family to death with a rolled-up issue of O magazine. They say you can still hear their screams at night. And they never did catch Old Man Smith. No, there ain't no way I'm going in there. There ain't no way. So that means there is some way. Excellent. You have fun figuring out what that is and then subsequently getting beaten and brutally murdered. And I'm going to go home and catch the episode of The View that I TiVoed, and if you do happen to make it back, don't track any blood on the carpet, okay? I won't wait up for you. Just like in elementary school math, 2 negatives equal a positive, which is especially good to know if you ever end up in a movie with Jennifer Love Hewitt or Neve Campbell. Finally, there are a couple of specific misuses of negatives that especially irk me. For instance, all the people that say, I could care less. While this expression probably started from someone using verbal irony, that's definitely not how it's used now. And if you just thought for 2 seconds about what you were saying, you'd realize what you actually mean is I couldn't care less, which is a completely bogus concept in of itself because of something I like to call the Aguilera Principle. The Aguilera Principle proves that you can always care less about something by examining the statement, I couldn't care less about Britney Spears, which initially seems to be a correct statement. However, it logically follows that I care even less about Christina Aguilera because I didn't even think about how much I don't care about her until I thought about how much I don't care about Britney Spears, which proves that you can always care less about something I should so teach at Harvard. And last but not least, there's the word irregardless. Let's examine that, shall we? Ir is a negative and less is a negative, making the word a positive, which isn't how people use it, and on top of that, it's not a real word to begin with, so stop saying it! Come on, people, this is as easy as 1 times -1. I know we can do it. Just think about what you're saying, do the math, and start using negatives correctly. Because, if you don't, you might end up in a ferret cage. You know, I was just thinking to myself, what if one of my neighbors was walking by and happened to hear me shout at the top of my lungs, I don't care if you're sorry, get in the ferret cage until you learn how to multiply. Yeah, this is the price you paid to be an artist.